Don't search for happiness. Let it come naturally. Happiness is a good thing, don't get me wrong. But how many times do we hear people say, does he make you happy? Does she make you happy? Then leave. Or, are you happy at your job? Then you should look for another one. Well, whether you should leave or whether you should look for another job, maybe that's something to consider. But don't base it on happiness. When we do that, there are a couple things that can happen. Number one is we can naturally start making very selfish decisions. We start to evaluate our life that if I'm not feeling happy, then my life isn't good. And if we do that, then we start seeking out happiness in every situation. We start to make selfish decisions. And there's some challenges with that, one of which is that can lead to a variety of ways to manipulate ourselves using chemicals to make ourselves feel happy. In fact, that's many times what happens when we're depressed. It's like, I don't want to feel depressed, I want to feel happy. And we force the situation, even at the point of using chemicals, to create what would be a false happiness. Instead, what should we be looking for? You see, I believe we're actually built to seek peace. See, I think we're misassociating it. We're looking at happiness and thinking that's what we're wanting to pursue. But in fact, what we're really wanting to pursue, what we really desire, is peace. Peace is a state. And we can maintain a state much easier than we can maintain a feeling. I mean, it's impossible. When's the last time you maintained a feeling all day long? It's just not possible to maintain feelings at a constant period of time. But we can maintain a state of mind much easier and for longer periods of time. So how then do we obtain peace? Well, ironically, happiness is connected to that. Let me show you how. I, on Valentine's Day, a number of years ago, went to the store and bought a dozen roses. Now, I went to the grocery store and I had a cart with me and I put the roses there. I'd select out one rose and I would find a female walking in the aisle and I would walk up with the rose and I would say, Valentine's Day, beautiful rose. And the expression and the surprise on all the females was wonderful. I mean, they lit up. Several of them gave me a hug. Said thank you. And what I found, as a side note, is that the older the female, okay, more like in the grandma type, all right, the more appreciative they were, the more they just lit up like they were just touched. And what did I see in their faces? Happiness, right? So I went around and I passed out those dozen roses, and when I left walking the store, what do you think I felt? Happy? Peace. What we actually desire, I think, is peace. And we get peace by focusing on others and bringing happiness to them. So if you really want to seek out and that feeling, that sensation, that drive you have, like that you think is associated with happiness, we're misassociating its peace. And the best way to get peace is to focus on bringing somebody else happiness. It's a gesture. Maybe it's just opening a door, giving somebody a rose. It's something considerate, thoughtful that we do for someone else. How can I bring happiness to someone else? And that results in peace to us. In fact, this is further justified. There were studies done, and forgive me, I'm not going to be able to quote the exact percentages, but studies were done on people, we all go through feeling down, even depressed, but people who were even borderline suicidal, depressed, when they volunteered so many hours per week, their attitude and feelings turned around. Have you ever noticed that before? Sometimes it helps us to take the focus off ourselves. So on the other extreme, when we're wanting happiness and we're fighting being depressed or being mad or angry, take the focus off yourself. It's like taking the slack out of the rope, right? You ever been skiing, right? You take the slack out of the rope and you're in much better control. The same thing. So if you're feeling down, you're feeling frustrated and you want to feel positive, do something that will bring happiness to somebody else. I guarantee you it's going to improve your state. I guarantee it's going to turn you around. Focus on bringing happiness to others, and that will result in bringing peace to you. Isn't that odd how that works? You know, life is kind of built like that. When we focus on giving, somehow or another we get this return, right? You can work hours in a job and get a paycheck. You can go to the gym to work out muscles and you get muscle growth. You know, our entire life is kind of structured that way. And ironically, if we genuinely focus on the give, we focus on the output, creating happiness in others, what we get in return is wonderful. So don't seek happiness, because I think what we actually want is peace. And we can get peace by genuinely seeking to bring happiness to other people. I'm David John Morgan. I hope you're having a good day.